everyone. It makes it easier for everyone to go supervisor, less money, less volume. You can earn royalty overrides the very next month on the supervisors that you started with you. And also, it's a great way to start building your team fast. Within our first 90 days, we had 11 supervisors in our organization because people duplicated what we did. So that's a great way to become supervisor. Do you want to tell them a little bit?
You know, the buddy system, for some of you guys that are watching this, and if you're over at someone's house and this is the first time you're kind of being exposed to all this, and it gets confusing, don't worry. It took us a little while to understand it too. There's marketing plan videos, and you can read the materials. And you know, we're going over this stuff pretty quickly, but the important thing to understand is you want to get to a supervisor level one way or another. And I guess examples would be the best way to explain it. My whole family actually does this. My brother, my sister, and my mom, they've all been able to quit their jobs and do this. And they all got to supervisor differently. My brother, I called him up right away, and I knew he was broke. And I knew that you know, Mike and Laura had credit card debt and all the same stuff that we did, and I said, I'm going to do this, and it looks like I found a way. The products work, the system worked, you know, you could do this with me. And so my brother wanted to go in with me right away. And but my sister and my mom, you know, they weren't ready yet. Some other friends of mine weren't ready yet, but my brother was ready to go, and we all broke a line, and he called a friend of his, Chris, and the three of us did the buddy system, and we split the volume, and you can share that whatever way, 4,000 at the top with an extra couple thousand. The way we did it is we all split it up 2,000 points apiece. But it's pretty much, you know, the buddy system for me, I love that method because in the next 90 days, we had gotten 2 more people that were serious about supervisor to do the exact same thing, and they broke a line. Jack got his friend Chad, and Chad got his friend Jeff, and that went all over the United States. Doesn't have to be just in your town. It could be anywhere across America or Canada or Mexico or the whole wide world, really. But we did the buddy system in a line of 3, and because people tend to do what you do, not what you say, it was amazing. And my brother also broke another line of 3, and so although we only got, I think we sponsored maybe 15 or 16 people, we had 11 different supervisors, and we were earning royalties, and our royalty check was $1,000 after 90 days. So I really highly recommend trying to do the buddy system. But like, for example, my sister did the buddy system in a line of 2, and she got her friend Jennifer, the 2 of them went together, and then my mom was probably the only one that could actually afford to be a supervisor, and she just got the 4,000 points. She said, you know, if I've got the products, I can sell them. And John Peterson, the #1 distributor in the world, always says you can't sell shoes from an empty shoebox. And my experience is people that have products sell the products and make more money than people that don't have the products. And it's not to say you can't order them, but it really makes a difference. I know when that box got there from UPS, we were very motivated. I had to borrow my mom's credit card. You know, you guys are going to have to figure out all sorts of ways to get to supervisor, buy your way, sell your way combination. But I'll tell you, I was 27 at the time, and asking mom for money probably isn't the easiest thing for a 27-year-old man to do, but I'll tell you, it was worth it because I wanted to be out of debt, and you know, to be able to have all this, you know, what we've gotten in Herbalife, we earned $400,000 last year. I mean, that's not possible anywhere else. And it all started because we got to supervisor, because I borrowed my mom's credit card, got the job done, got the products, got to the trainings, and just started following them step by step. And we didn't even know all the steps, we just knew the one that was in front of us. And the big one in front of you guys is supervisor, you know, you want to get there. And for the people that are supervisors already, you really need to look at the people in your group. Look at the people that need a chance, that need to be able to spend time with their kids or get out of debt or whatever their reason is, whatever's important to them. You need to really help them brainstorm and figure out a way to get to supervisor. It's like a game almost. You're like, and a game doesn't end until midnight the last day of the month, and we'll find out who makes it to supervisor. And if you make it, congratulations. And if you don't, just make sure you don't go to bed thinking, maybe I could have got it to happen. Maybe there would have been a way, because that'll drive you nuts. You just want to give it your best, do your best, and get to supervisor, because the biggest event ever is about to happen, and that's Nashville, the Extravaganza 2001, the biggest event that's ever happened in the history of the company. And you guys, it's going to be so exciting. We've got a 3-day event, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, May 4th, 5th, and 6th. and it's going to be absolutely incredible. I mean,
in Nashville, Tennessee.
In Nashville, Tennessee. Yeehaw! If I didn't say that already. But Nashville is where the event's going to be this year. And why don't you go ahead and tell them a little bit more about it and what's going to happen there, and then I'll talk about our first experience as well.
Okay, sure. You know, basically, first of all, let me tell you how you can qualify. The reason you want to be supervisor this month in April is because that then qualifies you to be able to attend the extravaganza in the month of May. So simply just finish out your supervisor qualification by the end of April and you are qualified to attend Nashville. Now for those of you that are at the supervisor level and haven't qualified as of yet, all that you have to do is do 2,500 volume points this month in May, and that will this month in April, and that will qualify you for Nashville in May also. And you know, I've got to talk for just a minute about the 2,500 volume points because that's really important, and it's an important step, next step after supervisor, to get to, and what that's called is the active supervisor position. You know, Herbalife is really doing some strong recognition with active supervisors. You know, Jay has our active supervisor pin on. Today we're waiting actually for the upgrade pin. We get a few more of those little diamond things in there. But you know, so that you get recognized with your pin, you get a certificate, you get a special journal as well, and you know, special recognition at all the STSs, and Nashville definitely is going to be recognizing the active supervisors also. So that's a big step to get to, and the way that you do that is by doing 2,500 volume points in 3 consecutive months. So that's how you qualify for the event. Now, once you get to the event, there are some special events that are taking place at Extravaganza as well, and the first one is Jim Rohn on Friday afternoon. And you know, for those of you that are out there watching this that have seen Jim Rohn before, you know the value of getting there. But for those of you that are brand new and haven't seen Jim Rohn, you know, you definitely have got to do it. I am a totally different person than I was 8 years ago, and it's because of Jim Rohn. And I know Jay is too. You just really grow, and he talks about life and you know, what you need to do in order to make your life better. He's just absolutely incredible, and you definitely want to get there. But in order to do that, you simply do 5,000 volume points. Now for those of you that are not qualified yet for supervisor, your 4,000 volume points counts. So your first 4,000 volume points is already going to count. Then you just simply have to do an additional 1,000 volume points at 50%, and that'll give you your total 5,000. For those of you that are at supervisor, you do need to do the full 5,000 volume points. And then also you can get a tape from Jim Rohn by doing a total of 7,500 volume points. There's a top producer party, which is going to be just great. I think it's a country theme, so definitely get your cowboy hats and boots and jeans out. And in order to go there is 10,000 volume points this month. And then there's also the executive leadership dinner, which is a total of 15,000 volume points, and that's where we're going to have dinner with just the top Chairman's Club members, with everyone from the home office. It'll be a great place to just be able to talk and get great information from people. But there's also incredible prizes that are going to be given away. This is Herbalife's 21st year, and they're going to be giving away a total of 21 incredible prizes, with the very top prize being a 2001 Mercedes-Benz. So we've already been checking them out because we're going to get it. But so it's just absolutely incredible what's going to be taking place in Nashville. But did you want to go ahead and talk about our first event?
The extravaganza, for you guys that haven't been to an extravaganza, or for those of you guys that have, you know, you'll be thinking back to your very first extravaganza. But I go back to our very first one, and we've been doing this now 8 years. And our very first extravaganza, you know, we were part-time. We had to rearrange our schedule. We had to take time off. We had to go spend the money and do that, just like all you guys are contemplating right now. But I'll tell you, it was worth it, because that very first event, I remember we went to Los Angeles, and it was the first time we saw a bigger picture of Herbalife, and it was a big event. I think there were like 5,000 people. There'll be twice that many in Nashville, but it was a big event, and we went to the training, and we had to share a room with the gal right above us, Julia Whitney, our sponsor, and then right below my brother, the three of us shared the hotel room. And at the time, of course, we're brand new. It's not like we're making the big money or anything. So we all shared the hotel room. And I look at that now, and it's kind of amazing, because Julia's a President's Team member. We're at the President's Team level. My brother and Laura are so close to President's Team. I think the company paid us almost $70,000 last month.
Between the three of us.
And these were the three, the three distributorships. We were the three that had to share a motel room. So if that's your situation and you need to drink shakes and take the bus and get to Extravaganza, do it. It'll be worth it, because you're going to come out of it. And if you want to jot down a couple of things, your business will be easier. It'll be faster. It'll be simpler. There's just nothing that, it's hard to describe what Extravaganza is going to do, because it'll give you a lot more confidence. It'll give you a much bigger picture for where Herbalife's going, and it'll give you the clarity, and it'll tell you exactly where you're going. And you'll get it for you. You'll see that the pieces of the puzzle that are still missing for you, they'll be there in Nashville, and you'll come out of it. I've never had anybody come out of something like that. Certainly we came out of it very clear, and we skyrocketed to the Get Team in the next 3 months. And I've heard it said, if you bring one person to the Extravaganza, you can add $1,000 to your income for each person that you bring within 90 days. And sure enough, what did we do? Come out of the Extravaganza, 1,000-point royalty check, got our income actually totally up to 3,000 with one person there. And I think about it, and that room, we were so crowded. Mike was sleeping on the floor, my brother, and Julia was sleeping in a cot at the bed. Luckily, we were married, we got the bed. But I think back, if it's true, you could get $1,000 for each person. That we could have put two people, one beside Mike, maybe another one on the cot with Julia. We could have slept sideways. We could have gotten more people into that room, and more people's lives would have been changed. More people would have gotten a clear picture, and they would have come out and gone Get Team. So, help, you got to get there yourself first, but then do whatever you can do, carpool, really help people to understand. Because you're going to have to rearrange a weekend, but would it be worth it if you could rearrange the way you live your life forever? And that's really what's happened to us. So Extravaganza, Nashville, Tennessee, you guys, it's going to be a day that you'll never forget, and it's going to change lives. And there are going to be people 2-3 years from now that are going to go back and they're going to say, I was there. That was my first event. That was the first time I got there. And it completely changed my life. And it can be you. So you want to make sure it's you, and you want to make sure you get some more people sleeping on the floor beside the bed in your hotel room, because, whatever it takes to get there. So
Exactly. I would definitely agree. Well, do we want to, we have a caller, or do we want to bring Billy out and talk about the Mark Hughes Day?
Let's take a call, and
Okay.
Let's hear from Kurt in Denver. Kurt, are you out there?
Hi, guys.
Well, hey,
Well,
what's
hi,
happening?
Kurt.
You guys look awesome.
Well, great.
Thank you.
We're feeling great.
Hey, I got two questions. One for one for each if you want. Lisa, Kathy wants to know which lip color you're wearing. And for both of you, if say you've got a brand new distributor who's kind of sitting on the fence and hasn't made it to the supervisor level yet, and doesn't really know if they can afford it, or for whatever reason they're saying they can't make it to Nashville. What kind of advice could you give someone to tell that person to try to motivate them to get them there?
Go ahead.
I would say, the biggest thing is you got to look at what their reason is. If they've got a strong enough reason, I would hone in on that. If someone really wants to be at home with their baby, that this is going to be an important step to get them there. If they're tired of being broke, this is an important step. And one thing that kept going through my mind every time I would think about, should I borrow my mom's credit card and get to supervisor, or should I go to Los Angeles? It would just keep ringing into my head. I would think, I'm sick of being broke. I'm tired of it. I got to do something about it. And so I would hone in on whatever their particular reason is, really listen to them, and make sure that they know that you understand where they're coming from, and then help them problem solve. And that where there's a will, there's a way. And when one thing doesn't work out, try another. So.
Yeah, Kurt, I would just add too, the whole reason that Jay went through, your reason why is very, very important. That's what's going to get people through, stumbling blocks and that type of thing. But, Herbalife is built on event to event to event. It just makes your business so much easier. It's like comparing digging a hole, with a shovel versus a bulldozer. Which one is going to be easier? A bulldozer, definitely. And that's what these events are going to do for them. So it's just a real important step. And Kathy, as far as your question, I'm not really sure. They just pampered me all up, so I don't even